I've worked with Mike Leigh twice, but my most memorable has to be, I'm afraid, when I did Vera Drake, and we had a 7-hour improvisation, which was the most extraordinary and invigorating day of my working life, which was the whole scene in Vera Drake when she's arrested, and it was, I think, intense is too small a word.
The radio play in 1979 or 80 was pretty good because it's on the radio, but it was just like shooting a film, but with only sound, no visuals. So we had costumes, everything. But the great thing was that I was playing somebody very fat. And I could do that because it was the radio.
The first time I worked with him, I suppose that was going to be pretty vivid. And that was on a theatre job, in fact, in 1981 on a play called Goose Pimples. And my character was a character called Jackie Scragg, who was a croupier and generally quite sad, and Anthony Sher played an Arab. And at one stage we were both sent off to get into character in the middle of Leicester Square, because my character did look like a tart. The
character lost her virginity in the radio play, so that scene was quite interesting. I mean, obviously we didn't take realism to that point, but let me just say that there was nakedness and condoms involved.
Halfway through rehearsing Happy Go Lucky, when I'd gone quite some distance into preparing one character, when I hadn't been in for a few weeks, and he called me in, and the first thing he said was, "Don't worry, you're not going to be sacked." And I thought, oh God, it hadn't even occurred to me that I might be sacked. I thought I was doing okay. And he decided to recycle me as an actor.
When we were filming Nuts in May, just the way he was just so rigorous about every single detail.
My character was so unpleasant that none of the other characters she'd met in the improvisations ever wanted to see her again, and so I was sort of at a loose end, so he decided to recycle me. So we started work on the flamenco dance teacher, which was great because I then got to sort of plunge into however many weeks it was worth of preparation for that.
We had to act out the whole week's holiday, which included a 15-mile walk along the coastal path in Dorset. And the Dorset coastal path isn't like that. It goes like that and like that and like that and like that. And even though I was only 28 at the time, it almost finished me off.
Overall, it's such a fantastic way for an actor to work because you're so creative and you have a chance to mould the character from nothing with Mike into, you know, a fully fledged three-dimensional human being.
I loved Karina Fernandez in Happy Go Lucky, the flamenco dance teacher.
I think you can't beat Candice Marie from Nuts in May for being hilarious and brilliant and full of brilliant one-liners, and every time I eat a mushroom I think of her.
Karina in that film, you know, there you go, one scene, how to be brilliant and not an unimportant player because you've only got one scene.
Lesley Manville in Topsy Turvy, her character of playing the good wife, and there was one scene where she was sitting in bed saying how marvellous it would be to have applause at the end of the day, and I found her character very, very moving.
I would think Vera Drake, I think, probably.
Vera Drake.
I loved Vera Drake.
In my mind's eye, I can always see that moment when she realises that the game's up and she's going to get arrested.
And it's just in her face, I mean, and she doesn't speak. And you just see every single thing, all those layers. So you know all that work that she's done, all what you've seen is just there.
I think Imelda was brilliant in that film, and it was very touching.
What Imelda did was brilliant, really brilliant.
I always loved Ruth Sheen in High Hopes. She and Phil Davis played sort of bikers, and well, I think Ruth Sheen is phenomenal, and that was an unsung and beautiful performance by Ruth yet again.
Because I love all the actresses that he works with, you know, they're all interested in not being personalities, as it were. They're always pushing the boat out, so in directions that are so interesting.